What's going on, goblins? Warp Goblin here. Borderlands 4 is just around the corner and I've been absolutely frothing at the mouth to get my hands on it. But here's the deal. Whether you've been looting since the days of Claptrap, Dancing in Firestone, or you're brand new to the madness, there's a ton of stuff that you're going to need to know before diving in. So today, I'm breaking down everything you need to get started in Borderlands 4, which Vault Hunter to pick, how loot works now, how to best level when we get started, and the early traps to avoid so you don't screw your playthrough. Stick with me and you'll walk in a Kairos ready to tear bandits apart, farm legendaries, and flex like a true Vault Hunter. Let's get into it. First decision, maybe the hardest one you'll make all game. Who the hell are you gonna play? Borderlands 4 gives us 4 brand new Vault Hunters, each one a wild spin compared to past games. We covered this a little bit earlier on in a previous video, link above, so if you want more detail, check it out. But let's get started with Vex, the Dark Siren. Not your typical elemental bomb siren, Vex is all about kinetic damage and spectral minions. She summons Trouble the Cat, who literally explodes in different elements depending on the gun you're holding. And if you're into draining health, lifesteal builds, or necromancer vibes, this just might be your pick. Vex is going to be great for solo players. She summons minions, she has built-in crowd control, and has all manner of cool effects to explore. Next up, Rafa the Exo Soldier. This guy is a digistruct machine. He can literally conjure weapons out of thin air, arm cannons, dual blades, turrets, you name it. His overdrive trait speeds up damage and movement while using action skills, which basically means you're rewarded for spamming cool shit. If you like versatility and reacting on the fly, Rafa's your boy. Stay tuned at launch because we're going to get started with Rafa on day 1. Harlowe, the Gravatar, the tactical pick. Gravity fields, mid-range traps, battlefield control. If you like pulling enemies together, setting up your combos, and feeling like a 4D chess master, Harlowe is going to be criminally underrated. Do not sleep on her. Amon, the Forge Knight. Melee lovers, this is it. Amon brings fire and ice weapon summoning that feels like God of War meets Borderlands. Swords, shields, spears, elemental hammer slams. It's just raw brutality. He's your tanky bruiser option for people who want to be up in enemy faces. And guess what? Goblin tip, guys. There is no wrong pick. But here's the trick. If you're not sure, play the prologue with all 4. Borderlands 4 lets you sample them before you finish the first hub world, so you don't feel locked in right away. Borderlands is a loot game first, shooter second, and Borderlands 4 has amped up how loot feels. Weapon will still come in rarity tiers. For those brand new to the series, that means white as common, green, blue, purple, and through to orange legendaries. And yes, Pearlescent is back for those spicy endgame drops. New mechanics are going to include weapon infinities. Guns now interact with your Vault Hunter's powers. An example of this is Vex's minions inherit your weapon's elements. Rafa's Digistruct blades scale better with melee mods you're carrying, and this will make your loadout feel way more personal. An early tip, guys, don't get attached to guns early on. You're going to swap guns every few levels. Holding onto that blue sniper from level 5? Nah, scrap that. Vendor stock resets often and early bosses drop surprisingly good loot, so keep swapping up. Alright, so let's talk leveling. Borderlands 4 is going to do things a little bit different with the first real open world sandbox approach to environments that we've seen in the franchise. So here's the thing, Borderlands 4 isn't going to force us to grind, but if we play it wrong, we're going to feel under-leveled real quick. So here's how to stay ahead without wasting any hours. First up, main story quests. These are hands down likely to be the best experience points per hour. If you're trying to rush through and get to all the good stuff, stick with the main path. But don't ignore every side quest. Some of them are going to reward unique weapons or relics that we'll use for 10 levels or more. The trick is to do the ones with gear rewards. Skip the filler, go fetch this junk missions. Now, if you can, play with friends. Co-op gives you a free experience point boost, enemies scale up, and honestly, it's just going to be way faster for clearing mobs with a squad. Even randoms online are going to help you level faster than trying to do it solo. Here's a sneaky one though. Experience point boosting relics. Don't slap them on the second you find them. Save them for repeatable side quests or early boss farms, because stacking that bonus when you're tuning in missions is going to be way more efficient than just wearing it while you roam around. And finally, if you're wondering which Vault Hunter clears fastest, Rafa and Harlowe are likely to be the speed level champs. Rafa's AoE damage and Harlowe's crowd control just melt mobs, so if your only goal is to power level, those two will probably get you there the quickest. Alright guys, let's be real. In Borderlands, half the fun is blasting things apart and the other half is looting like a maniac. But when you first start out, it's going to be easy to get buried in junk gear. So here's how to gear up smart right from the beginning. First rule, color matters. Early on, it's tempting to pick up every white or green gun that drops. Don't. They're going to clog your inventory faster than Claptrap cogs your comps. Prioritize blues and above. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Second, always check vending machines. Sounds obvious, right? But in Borderlands 4, vendors refresh their stock way more often than past games. I've already seen purples in the first few hours of play, so don't ignore them. Now, bosses. Early bosses have much higher drop rate for iconic weapons than random mobs. If you find one that drops something spicy, farm it. Even if it's just a couple of runs, that weapon will carry you way longer than anything else you'll pick up in the wild. And don't forget, weapon synergy matters. Example for this is Vex scales her spectral minions off your gun's element. So if you're rocking shock or fire, her summons will melt enemies. Rafa, on the other hand, benefits from mods that lower cooldowns, since he's spamming skills constantly. Gear for your playstyle, not just the biggest number in the tooltip. So yeah, don't drown in junk. Be selective, check vendors, farm smart bosses, and most importantly, pick gear that actually works with your character. That's how you'll stay strong all the way through early game. Alright, Borderlands is always fun solo, but let's be honest, this game was built for co-op chaos. If you've got friends or even randoms online, you're going to want to know how multiplayer actually works in Borderlands 4. First off, the level scaling. Gearbox made sure you don't get punished for playing with friends who are ahead or behind you. Enemies scale to your level, and loot drops scale too. That means whether you're level 5 or 15, you'll still get gear that makes sense for you. No more feeling like the sidekick dragging behind. Second, loot is instanced. Translation? Everyone gets their own drops. You don't have to fight over who gets that shiny purple rocket launcher. If you see it, it's yours. And if your buddy sees it, it's theirs. Much less arguing, much more shooting. Now, synergy. This is where co-op gets spicy. Vex's minions can tank while Amon charges in swing. Rafa's turrets can cover choke points while Harlowe pulls enemies into traps. Mixing and matching classes really pays off. So if you're playing with friends, talk builds. The right combo can make bosses feel like target practice. So yeah, co-op in Borderlands 4 is flexible, rewarding, and let's be honest, way more fun when you're yelling at your friends while looting a chest. If you can grab a buddy or two when launch hits, you'll thank me when the chaos starts flying. Alrighty, let's talk what really makes your Vault Hunter yours. Skills and progression. This is where Borderlands 4 gets juicy because your choices actually shape how you play. Each Vault Hunter has 3 skill trees, but instead of just being pick one and done, you can actually blend them together in smarter ways than past games. You want Vex to lean hard into minion damage or maybe dabble a little into lifesteal on the side? Totally possible. Rafa can go all in on guns and cannons or split into blades for a hybrid brawler build. You've got flexibility right from the start. And then, action skills. You're not locked into one anymore. Borderlands 4 lets you swap and experiment, so if you start out loving one, but later find out that another just clicks with your loadout, you can respec without feeling punished. Gearbox really leaned into the idea of letting you try wild combos. So here's my advice. In your first 10 to 15 levels, focus less on min-maxing and more on experimenting. Try stuff out. Borderlands 4 is about discovering ridiculous synergies. The best builds come later when you've tested what actually feels fun for you. So don't stress the numbers early. Find what's fun, because when the skill system opens up, that's when the Vault Hunter goes from just another gun to absolute chaos machine. So before we wrap this up, let's talk about some launch week tips, because Borderlands 4 launch is going to be chaos in the best way possible. First, don't stress about being the fastest leveler. Everyone's going to be racing through, but honestly, Borderlands is way more fun if you enjoy the ride. Explore some of those side missions as we go. Soak in the new areas and let the loot come to you. Second, loot wisely. It's tempting to swap gear every 5 minutes, but don't get too attached. Early game weapons get outscaled fast. Instead, keep an eye out for elemental variety. Having a mix of fire, shock, and corrosive will save your butt more than chasing raw DPS. And finally, remember, Borderlands is better with Chaos Buddies. Whether you're jumping in solo or co-op, don't be afraid to experiment with builds alongside friends. Launch week is when people discover the crazy combos nobody expected, and honestly, that's going to be half the fun. So pace yourself, loot smart, and embrace the launch week madness. Trust me, Kairos is going to feel like the wildest theme park ride you've ever been on, and I'll be right there streaming it live with you, goblins. And that's everything you need to get started in Borderlands 4. Your Vault Hunter, your loot, and a few tricks to keep you alive when things get wild. Now the real question is, which Vault Hunter are you starting with? Is it going to be Vex, Rafa, Harlowe, or Amon? Drop your pick in the comments below. I'm going to be reading them while I wait out of here for launch. And hey, if you had fun hanging out here, do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the notifications when Borderlands 4 Chaos officially begins. I'm going to be live on launch day, streaming right here on YouTube and also over on Twitch and Kick. Links are below in the description. So please, like I said before, hit those notifications and come roll with me and the Goblin Gang as we tear into Kairos together. Thanks for watching, Goblins. You've been awesome. I'm Warp Goblin, and I'll catch you guys live in Borderlands 4.